Got power. Welcome back to the garage. The video has finally arrived. We're getting back to Eleanor and we're getting back to finishing up my sound system. Last video I pulled out the shaker sound box and decided an upgrade was needed. This new sound box has FM, USB, remote control, and Bluetooth. While this upgrade will require modifying the dash, it will certainly bring this Power Wheels Mustang into the modern age. To go with this upgrade, I'll be installing this pair of speakers inside of the car. I'm going to take my stereo unit here, get it kind of mocked up in place. It's going to sit kind of on the bottom here. Let it rest. Then I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm just going to kind of go across and sort of draw a line. Like so. Don't have to be perfect. Finally, I'm going to use my Ryobi here with the blade. I'm going to go in and cut across there and go down this way as well as that way. And then finally downward. Just go slow, take your time, have fun. Now I'm going to trim the bottom a little bit more to get that flush. Probably be interfering there. Got that up there. Difficult part is over here and on the other side it's a little more rounded, as on the actual stereo corners they're not necessarily as rounded, they're a little more square. It's a little snug, but it fits down below a lot better, so I'm happy with that. Now you're probably wondering how I'm going to fill out the upper part of it. And my plan was take the old shaker sound box from the other Mustang, and I went ahead and took it apart already. Here it is, and I'm going to cut off from roughly here and use the top piece to fill in that gap up above. I think we'll start at 1.25 inches, maybe a little bit over 1.25 inches. It looks like 1.25 inches is going to be right about where this is right here. So I'll cut across and then trim back this way as much as I need to, and it'll look good. For my stereo wiring, I took out the blue antenna / subwoofer turn-on wire. I kept the yellow wire, the red, and the black, of course, and then I connected those to longer wires. The red is going to the switch on the dash to turn the stereo on and off. That'll be my switched 12 volt. My yellow is my constant 12 volt. And of course my black is my ground. Next is the speaker wiring. I chose to remove the rear speaker wires just to make things look a little cleaner, and just kept the front two. And that should make things a little easier for me wiring wise. These are 4-inch pile waterproof speakers. They have protective speaker grills, protect themselves from little feet. They're affordable. I got them for less than 20 bucks off of Amazon, and they will do just fine sound wise for what we're trying to accomplish. I begin by measuring the depth of the speaker, which looks to be about roughly 1 1/4, and then measure about how deep or how wide my hole's going to be. About 3 1/2 should do it. Another way to verify is take your seal here, measure the inside of it, and looks like we're about 3 3/4 maybe. As far as the speaker installation, I tried to take a look at using like a 3 1/2 inch hole saw. Problem is I kind of get it down here. I don't have a lot of clearance to have a drill unless I come at it at an angle, and that's when things get wonky. So I'm going to ditch the hole saw. So I take my template. I'm kind of up against the floorboard here and up against where the inner fender is. I'm going to hold it as still as I can while at the same time trying to trace it with a Sharpie. I had a nice end mill type bit that went through and made quick work of this. Now I got to go through and trim all that. It'll look a little bit nicer, and do the same thing on the other side. Holes have been completed. Now my first test fit. And it does not want to go all the way flush. It does not want to go flat. I wonder if it's because I went off the seal. As you can see, the seal is a smaller diameter than the actual cone. I literally did the seal all the way to the bottom here. Probably why it's not fitting, so I'm going to have to trim up more here to get this to fit on there correctly. I'm going to have to do similar where the speaker's rubbing here and I need to trim more off of there as well. Test fit driver side, good to go. So with the way this car's set up, with the speaker wiring inside here, come up, it's going to go around put a hole about here. I don't know if you can see my finger. That's where the hole will go. Speaker wire will come from speakers here into the hole and into the head unit. Wires kind of come up around the fender and here, that way it does not interfere with the steering. I'll go ahead and make this hole here bigger so I can run more wires and a different grommet size in. That'll be the easiest way to route wires, plus the stereos on the passenger side, and the power wires for, or at least the yellow power wires for the stereo will go from there into the grommet hole. Use a step bit, word of caution, make sure you don't go too far with it. Take your time, it'll be fine. So with the electrical system, I have two choices. I can either tap into the actual Power Wheels battery, which would involve having to either have a special plug and then a wire coming off of the positive, or tapping inside here somehow. And I just decided I didn't want to do that because the runtime of the battery as it is for stock Power Wheels isn't super long. And I don't want to mess with the original Power Wheels wiring harness. So what I came up with is this 12 volt rechargeable battery, something I bought off of Amazon. It does have an end so you can charge it, so you can have an external place to charge it, and it has this end right here. And what that's going to tie into is I have this fuse relay kit. It's a 5-pin relay. So the cool thing is I have 3 fuses and 1 relay. One of the fuses is wired to the relay, but I have 2 other fuses that are just straight for the power. It's pretty thick wiring. You got separate fuses. They're on the ends here. One on the left or the right. It's going to go to the stereo, which leaves me 2 more fuses and for other options. The one with the relay, I'm going to add some lights in the future. Ultimately, my idea is to run a separate electrical system, separate 12 volt system, using this battery here and using this electrical box. And that's going to power the stereo, it'll power the lights, and then whatever else I come up with. And then as far as turning the stereo and the lights on and off, that's where these switches will come into play. All right, that's 760. So I could probably get away with about a 3/4 inch diameter hole into here, and then put my switch inside like so. Alright, so I got my 2 switches here, as you can see. This one right here is going to be for my lights. I then decided to wire that up for the future and make things a little easier for me. I'll get those done up. And then this one is for my stereo. So when I click this on, the stereo will come on. Right now it's not powered, so it's just me kind of mocking up where switches and wiring's going to go. Go ahead and kind of push that back in here. Make sure that fits. Make sure I line it up. Backwards. Yep, this way. You'll also notice that I removed this off the dash temporarily. It's because I noticed there was a connection issue with the ground wire, which makes me wonder why this isn't working correctly. Right now it's not hooked up to the battery. So I'm going to take a minute and unconnect it and see what I can figure out. Sure enough. Alright, we're under the hood of Eleanor. I've got my 12-volt battery here. I got my positive and negative wires kind of routed this way. And then, of course, your charging port, which I'll have to kind of figure out later. I've got my fuse block and also the relay that I took out temporarily. The thought is I'm going to mount this right into here. So it'll sink down in there like so. So way down in here, I'm going to drill a hole for the wires. And this part of the, wiring harness in here will go through that hole. The rest of these wires will kind of go upward. And then I got to figure out how to do 3 red wires into 1 small red wire. Alright, so right about where my finger's at is where I'm going to be drilling the hole. The wiring will come out from here. And then I'll figure out a way to kind of guide it along the body, maybe through the side panel, and kind of underneath the speaker and across. I got the hole drilled and the grommet installed. I'm moving the battery mount out of the way to help me fish the wires into the grommet hole. For my power and ground distribution, I'm going to be using this block here I got off of Amazon. How this works is it's got a negative side and a positive side. Oops. So all the positive wires will hook onto here. It's separate from the ground side. And my thinking is I'm going to put it right about here. So my ground for my relay, and then you'll notice I have a bunch of black wires here. Those are the grounds from my switches. Those will also go on there as well. And this will also tie the battery. The nice thing about this is it'll be well protected with this cover that's got these plastic nuts. And literally all you do is you just kind of screw them on. About finger tight. Nothing will touch it metal wise up top. You do have a little bit of exposure on the sides, but with the location that it will be in on the car and checking hood clearance, I don't really see that being an issue. power.
Am I connecting the app? I'm connecting the thing. Yes.
Holy moly. That's a good sign.
Okay. I'm connected there.
Controlled by your smartphone. Or in this case, my wife's smartphone.
Woohoo! You think Shania Twain's gonna come after you?
She probably will. Wow, that's pretty loud for 2 speakers.
And in all honesty, it's a pretty easy app to use.
Absolutely. Oh, forgot to mention, comes a little remote in case I try to change the channel. Is it kind of weird? I want to try the phone feature, but I don't think it works. I'll have to read the instructions.
You want to call me?
Wouldn't that be weird?
Go out in the...
Well,
oh, you
I'm
can't.
recording. Maybe we'll try that some other time. We started installing our new sound box, aka stereo system. We're still in the middle of that. We got the head unit mounted up, all nice and neat. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to figure that out as far as how I want to do it. Why do people hate this app? It's going to take a little more time.
It doesn't have great reviews, but oops.
I think because I don't have an antenna, it probably doesn't have very good reception.
Okay. But Spotify works on it.
And it's pretty. It is pretty. I'm kind of surprised it works, to be honest. I'm happy to say this project is a success. This is awesome. I can't believe it works. Nice. Okay, last step. I'm going to use this Scotch extremely strong adhesive stuff. Comes in strips like so. They stick to each other. So, already clean and prep my surface over here. Next, I'm going to add a little stripper layer over there. Put on the other side of the battery. Be right back. Finished product. Got my battery mounted here. Not going to come off loose. Got this connector. This thing, I'll have to find some sort of cover boot, but meantime it'll do. Maybe I'll just zip tie it out of the way. I got my positive going here, negative going there. I got my fuses. I got my relay. The Power Wheels battery fits in here just fine. Nothing touched on the Power Wheels electrical system, which I'm super excited about. Didn't have to hack into it or anything like that. So just kind of goes to show you what's possible nowadays, especially with 12-volt batteries being the size of this. Before we go, I just want to say thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing these videos. I really enjoy doing them. I also want to share with you my new website, www.reviveriderace.com. On that website, you can learn more about me, about the projects, and my goals for Power Wheels drag racing here in the Pacific Northwest. So yeah, please check it out. In the meantime, fix it, charge it, send it.